Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Neha. If you're new here on this channel, I post videos about community services, leadership and management and other topics related to vocational education sector in Australia. So welcome. Today's video, I will be giving you a good overview about cultural training. So first I'll explain exactly what cultural training is and why it matters. Then we discuss who benefits the most from it and why it's particularly important for community services students. Next, we look into the key skills and knowledge that you'll gain from this training, including the specific focus on Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander cultural safety. Finally, I give you some practical tips on how to make the most of your cultural awareness training. So to wrap it up with some key takeaways you can apply in your studies or your future career. If interested, please continue watching.
So, what is cultural training? Cultural training is the process of learning about cultural differences and developing the skills needed to work respectfully and effectively with people coming from diverse backgrounds and cultures. It is not about knowing the facts about someone's culture, it is about understanding how culture shapes communication, behavior, and values. It also involves reflecting on your own assumptions and biases towards different culture. For example, if a client comes from a culture where indirect communication is the norm and the worker who only uses direct communication might unintentionally cause stress or misunderstanding with this client. Cultural training helps you recognize these differences and then respond appropriately. In short, cultural training teaches awareness, understanding, respecting, and some practical skills that you can use every day in community services. Now, who is the cultural training for? Essentially, it's for anyone who works with people from diverse backgrounds. This includes community services students, social workers, youth workers, aged care workers, disability support workers, and even healthcare professionals who engage with the community. Even if you're not working directly with the clients, cultural training helps you collaborate effectively with colleagues from different backgrounds. For community services students, cultural training is often a mandatory part of their course. It ensures that you are prepared for your placements and real-world practice. Why is it important for community services students? Cultural awareness is essential for students in community services for several reasons. Firstly, it helps you work ethically and respectfully with the clients. Building your trust and rapport is central to delivering effective services. Second, it helps you reduce misunderstandings. When you understand a client's cultural context, you're less likely to misinterpret their actions or reactions. Third, it encourages self-reflection. Understanding your own cultural assumptions and biases improves your interaction and decision making. And finally, many study units such as CHC-DIV 001, CHC-DIV 002 require students to demonstrate cultural awareness and competence. For example, a student might meet a family whose cultural practices are very different from their own. So by understanding and respecting these differences, the student can engage in a way that is supportive rather than judgmental. Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander cultural safety. Let's focus specifically on Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander cultural safety. Cultural safety goes beyond awareness. So it ensures that the client feels respected and valued and safe. So this involves understanding historical context such as colonization or intergenerational trauma or ongoing disadvantages. This also means that following the cultural protocols such as acknowledging country or respecting the elders. By practicing cultural safety, you create an environment where clients can fully engage with services without fear of harm or disrespect. For example, taking the time to learn local protocols or asking permission before entering certain areas can make a significant difference in building trust and effective relationships. So, what will you learn from cultural awareness training? You will gain knowledge about how culture influences identity and communication. You will also learn to reflect on your own values and biases, develop cross cultural communication skills, and learn strategies to promote inclusivity and equity. Additionally, you will also learn how to apply cultural safety principles in real life situations, whether it is during your placement or working with the client or engaging in community programs. For example, role play exercises in training allow students to practice respectful communication and problem solving in culturally diverse scenarios. Let's look at some practical examples of cultural awareness in action. Adjusting communication styles when we want to suit the client needs, whether direct or indirect. Using interpreters or translated material when language is a barrier that exists with the client. Respecting the cultural customs, protocols, ceremonies. Recognizing any non-verbal differences such as eye contact or gestures and personal spaces. Providing services that are culturally appropriate. For instance, if a client avoids eye contact out of respect, a culturally aware worker won't misinterpret this as disengagement. Instead, they'll understand the behavior in the context of client's culture. How do you make the most of these trainings? To make the most of these trainings, follow these tips. Keep an open mind and be ready to challenge your assumptions. Reflect on your own cultural background and biases. Ask questions respectfully to clear any sort of misunderstandings and to clarify your own understanding. Listen actively to your peers and clients. Apply what you learned in placement and real life situations. Sharing these experiences with your peers can also deepen your understanding and give you different perspectives on cultural challenges you might face. So let's summarize the key takeaways here. Cultural awareness is about respect, reflection, and responsiveness. It allows you to build stronger relationships with clients, ensures ethical practice, and creates inclusive, safe environments. Remember, learning about culture is a very ongoing process. It requires curiosity. You need to be observant and you need to invest in continuous self-reflection. The more you practice cultural awareness, the more confident and effective you'll become in community services work. In conclusion, cultural awareness is not just a course requirement, it is a professional and personal skill that will help you throughout your career, and you would benefit from it tremendously by understanding and respecting the cultures of people you work with. You create better outcomes, you strengthen the relationships, and you deliver services ethically and inclusively.
I hope you enjoyed watching this video. We've come to the end of this video and I hope this gave you an overview of what cultural awareness training is and how you can make the most of this training. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.